Well, I'm understanding that it's never too late, but you know, now I want to bring this question to you, Kathleen. Is there such a thing as too early? Is that even possible to start too early to start working out?
Well, what we've found is that they can start at this age. They're not out training for marathons in third grade,
No.
but they can safely, with building up their endurance and their abilities over this 10-week period of time, they can safely do this 5K. So I think it's always important to teach healthy habits to kids, you know, from the very beginning, and not giving them, you know, juice all the time and sweets and just the empty calories. It's you know, making sure that parents have those healthier options available for their kids too. And it's a lifestyle. It's always thinking about the whole package, you know, what you're putting into your body and how you're taking care of your body.
Well, I think it's such a challenge too, because it used to be when I was a kid, way back in the Stone Age, we always stayed outside.
Yeah.
I mean, we were always outdoors. And if we weren't outdoors, my mother would say, you all go on outside. So that's pretty much what you did. And it seems to me that now kids get a lot more indoor time, a lot more screen time. They're always either watching TV or playing a game, or they're online. Yeah. And not just the kids, adults too. So we have to really...
One of the things I hear all the time from my clients who need to lose weight is, well, you know, I have to have the chips and the cookies in the house for the kids, so it makes it hard for me. And I always say, why do you have to have the chips and the cookies in the house for the kids? Don't you want them to grow up to be healthy and fit too? Well, just because your child is thin right now doesn't mean they're not going to have a weight problem later in life because of the habits they've developed at home and with their eating.
And the kids are not so thin as they used to be, apparently.
That's true, too. Now we have a real problem with childhood obesity. And, you know, that's one of the things that has always been a passion of mine. And I was so happy to see that our First Lady embraced this, because it was one of the things that I have just so wanted for our country, is to turn that problem around and make the next generation healthier. And I hope we can do it.
I hope so, too. And I think with programs like yours, we can get that going, you know, at least it's a start.
Yeah, it's great.
And just so people can realize that it's fun. Being active is actually a fun thing.
Yeah.
Getting out and moving is great, you know.
It's nice to be able to see that my shoes match.
Doesn't take much to please.
I'm practical too. My shoes are matching. I'm happy.
That's right. Yeah. Was I wearing a belt when I left the house?
So do you find that it's pretty easy to stay on the program that you've been placed on, Rob? Or
sometimes, you know, sometimes you have to remember why you're doing it, you know, but I have my boys, and, you know, it's a lot easier when I think about why I'm doing it. And then it's also easy when I remember the problem if I don't do it, that I won't be around for my boys. And, you know, Brenda, whenever I would have too much of an issue, she would call me up and say, hey, you know, it's been a while since I've seen you. You need to get down here. And I'd be like, oh, you know, well, it's really busy at work. And she'd go, really? Okay. Is it so busy that you're making so much money that you're ready to buy that coffin? You know, it's like, yeah, you're right. I need to get down there. So, you know, but always in a good way. It was never, even when, because sometimes I had trouble and I gained a little of the weight back, you know, and it was having a hard time breaking through certain periods where, you know, you get a certain weight and you want to get below that and you're just trying so hard. And she'd say, you didn't get this way overnight. You're not going to change back overnight. You know, be patient with yourself, because that was, I found a huge problem for me, is that I'd always want to run out of patience and I want to be 20 pounds thinner tomorrow, and it's just not going to happen that way.
Well, I think it's part of our culture too. And, you know, you're up late and be watching an infomercial or something, and you see these magical products and you think, well, wow, you know, and they make it so possible, but it's really not.
No, it's really, it's so nerve-wracking to watch it when you know it's all really, mostly they're just stealing money from people on most of these products. I promise you that you can't buy that machine and do those exercises and your gut's going to be gone. I promise you it's not that easy. I wish it was.
And in these days of, like, basically nearly instant gratification, I bet it's really hard for children to not be able to think, well, if I want it, I can have it. And that's part of the way their minds work anyway. But in today's world where things really are pretty instant, I bet you it's pretty hard to deal with that component of young people's mentality.
Well, I think the other reason why it's worth doing it is every time you go up a flight of stairs, or every time you have to do a mall trip or whatever, Christmas shopping, whatever, you're not exhausted, and you realize you're running up and down those stairs and it's no big deal, when back when it was a big deal. I used to make the piles at the bottom of the stairs and go up once a week with piles, and now it's just kind of like, wow, I go up and down the stairs several times a day. I don't even think about it anymore. So it's just like doing normal things are easier. Life is easier when you're in shape.
So just your activities of daily life become easier.
Yeah.
And just the way you process stress and other kinds of things.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Putting on your socks for a large fellow isn't fun.
Putting on your socks, seeing that your shoes and your socks match.
Yeah, these are all, they become giant issues for people. You know?
We laugh, but it actually is true.
Especially for guys, we carry all of our weight in the middle section, and try to, bend to reach.
I have a client that I've been working with who came in probably not more than 5'2" or so, 400 and something pounds, and for her, it was just a matter of getting from her car to my door. It was, by the time she got there, she'd already had an exercise or two.
Sure.
And now, 140 pounds down, she's going up and down stairs. She still has a ways to go with her weight, but she's living her life now. And for some people, that's what it's really about, is having a life, just having a life worth living.
Exactly. That's just so moving. So get moving. That's what the message is.
Exactly.
Is really just get moving early and keep it moving. And that's important.
And if people have a problem with their relationship with food, get help for that, because that's going to really stand in your way of being healthy and fit. If there are some issues with food, that there are people out there who help with that.
And there's no shame in it. There's no stigma attached, really.
That's right. I hear Overeaters Anonymous is a very good organization. It's not costly if you can't budget for some private counseling on the issue. There are ways.
And the other great thing about moving is that you just raise those endorphin levels. And it just makes you so much happier, makes you feel good, makes you look good.
Yep.
It's a win-win-win. I want to thank you for being here on She TV. We've had a great conversation. And I love the idea of starting them off early and keeping them going.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. You want to be healthy and well throughout your lifespan, and exercise is a great way to do it. So, all righty, thank you for being here and driving that message home. And thank you for being here and staying here by living well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.